Not too long ago, some news stories were saying that Nintendo and Net were trying to make a Legend of Zelda series. They claim that the pitch is basically making a family-friendly Game of Thrones. Well, that'll be interesting. I hope everything will go according to plan, so that it actually happens, and that they stick to the original source material so that this... Yeah, that never happens. Again.
Hey! Excuse me, princess!
Actually, a serialized Zelda series would probably be the best way to go. Despite how much I'd love to see it get the Lord of the Rings treatment, Zelda has always been pretty weird, and there's quite a bit of lore to go through. It would take a while before Joe Popcorn could get caught up to speed on what the Master Sword is, the Ocarina of Time, who the sages are, who the heck Midna is, what the heck the Dark World's all about, and all that. It actually got me thinking, what video game characters would we like to see, and how would we like to see them branch out into other forms of media, and how? Meaning, would Mario work better in live action, or as an animated film, or even a TV show? Speaking of which, let's start off with Mario. Truth be told, unless they wanted to tell any of the Super Mario RPG storylines, they'd probably be best making an animated film. And why? Well, Mario games really aren't that complex. They don't need entire episodes devoted to explaining this or that story point, with the exceptions being the aforementioned RPGs. Mario's pretty straightforward as far as any story is told. There's a princess, she's in a place she doesn't want to be, some guy put her there, and there's some other guy who's going to get her out. That's all, folks. So a Mario movie needs to focus more on the brothers' relationships as they make friends and travel to new places, all while looking for Bowser's castle. Now give that pretty basic premise to DreamWorks or someone and you got something really special. Okay, how about Sonic? Well, plot-wise there really isn't much either, though if you wanted to tell one of the adventure games, I guess you'd want to take your time and let that sucker breathe. So I could see a pretty decent film being made out of Sonic, the main plot being Sonic and his friends are trying to stop Robotnik from getting the Chaos Emeralds to power his Doomsday Machine in space. Also, no humans, period. He looks stupid when he's around them, and he looks even dumber trying to date one. Just make the film about Sonic and his friends trying to stop Robotnik from taking over the world. Actually, back up for a second. Yeah, right there. Let's expand on that. A mini-series for Sonic Adventure 1 would actually be kinda cool. Like have each episode be the campaign of one of the characters, with the Super Sonic level being the finale? Yeah, that sounds pretty neat. But games are more than just the story. They also rely on gameplay, visual aesthetics, and music to tell their tale. That's right, clone me. So, for a Sonic movie or mini-series to work, they have to have plenty of scenes where Sonic is running at top speeds to stop a bomb or save his friends. That segues perfectly into the next game I want to talk about, Metroid. Now, if you were to go and make a Metroid film, you just made an Alien ripoff. But if you were to film Metroid's gameplay and visuals, i.e. you have a main character whose entire performance is based on her facial expressions alone, as she explores the dark corridors of a forbidden place, just to find enough firearms to stop an unforeseen enemy, you'd make some pretty powerful Oscar-worthy stuff. Look at Mega Man. He is so ripe for film, I'm surprised nobody's gone ahead and already done it. I know he has his own comic book series, and trust me, it's awesome. And yeah, he's basically like most other superheroes, but that's what makes it such a no-brainer. We've been making superhero films for years. We know how to do it, so putting together a Mega Man film and putting it up on the big screen shouldn't be that hard. I think the only reason it hasn't been done is the question of whether or not it should be live action or animated. Both sounds great. What I mean is that both can work. If you want to make it animated, that's great. You can just make Big Hero 6 in reverse. And if you want to make it live action, that's also great. Use animatronics and motion capture for all the robots and let all the humans be humans. Actually, you can use that technique for a Donkey Kong Country film. Like, have all the scenes be shot in actual jungles and have all the apes and Kremlins be animated. Though, most times people have tried to blend live action with CGI, it really hasn't worked out. Yeah. Got time for one more? Well, here's another Rareware game, Banjo-Kazooie. It's a game from the days of the early 3D platformer, and it's hailed as one of the best in its genre. Its central plot involves Banjo and Kazooie climbing through a tower to stop an evil deranged witch. There's a cast of colorful characters, and all along the adventure, both the heroes and the villains rip on each other. That's right, a Pixar take on Die Hard. Don't pretend you don't want to see how that works out. The thing with video games is that they're unlike any other form of media, so adapting them to film or television is no small task. But I believe it can be done if we put a little bit more thought and a little bit more care into them than we did with the video game films of old. That's all the time I have for today. If there was a video game I forgot to mention, like, say, Pokemon, why don't you leave it in the comments below? And if you want to see more of my stuff as soon as it comes out, hit that little subscribe button. And as always, I'll see you next time.